What if I told you that for less than $300,000, you could own a log home on nearly 9 acres at the end of a dead-end road with access to more than 10,000 acres of public wilderness? In some parts of America, $295,000 barely buys a small condo. This property sits on 8.55 acres and includes a 1,952 square foot log home built in 2003. It has 3 bedrooms, 2.5 bathrooms, a large covered front porch, a large covered back porch, and enough privacy that your nearest neighbors feel very far away. The asking price? $295,000. That works out to roughly $151 per square foot. For comparison, many markets in the Northeast are now well above $300, $400, and even $500 per square foot. And that's before you add nearly 9 acres of land. But here in West Virginia, it buys this. Today we're taking a look at a private log home in Wallback, West Virginia, and asking a simple question. Is this one of the best property values in America? Let's start outside. The first thing that stands out is the setting. This isn't a subdivision. There are no rows of identical homes, no HOA signs, no traffic noise, no commercial development in sight, just rolling fields, mature trees, and open Appalachian countryside. The house sits well back from the road and feels tucked into its own private world. One of my favorite features is the wraparound covered porch. You could easily imagine drinking coffee here in the morning, watching storms roll across the hills, or sitting outside on cool autumn evenings. This is exactly the type of outdoor living space people imagine when they think about cabin life. Now let's talk about the acreage, because the acreage is really where this property starts separating itself from most homes under $300,000. 8.55 acres gives you options. Space for gardens, space for animals, space for trails, space for privacy, space to simply be left alone. And unlike many rural listings, this land appears usable: open grassy areas, mature trees, gentle terrain, and plenty of room for future projects. But here's where things get really interesting. This property sits next to the Wallback Wildlife Management Area. That's more than 10,000 acres of public land. Think about that for a second. You don't just own 8.55 acres. You effectively gain access to thousands of additional acres for hiking, wildlife viewing, hunting, and exploring. For outdoor enthusiasts, that's a massive value proposition. Most people pay premium prices for homes near public recreation. Here, it's essentially part of the lifestyle package. Step inside and the home delivers exactly what you'd hope from a log cabin. Warm wood walls, wood ceilings, natural textures, a comfortable, timeless feel. The stone fireplace becomes the focal point of the living room. And honestly, it's hard not to picture a winter evening here with a fire going. The home feels authentic, not a modern house pretending to be rustic, an actual log home with genuine cabin character. The kitchen is spacious and functional. Lots of cabinetry, large work surfaces, a center island, plenty of room for cooking and entertaining. Is it ultra-modern? No, but that's actually part of the appeal. Everything appears clean, well-maintained, and move-in ready. There aren't obvious renovation projects staring you in the face. That's important because hidden repair costs are often what turn affordable properties into expensive ones. This property won't be for everyone, and that's exactly the point. If you want restaurants 5 minutes away, walkable downtowns, coffee shops on every corner, or easy access to nightlife, this probably isn't the place for you. Rural living comes with trade-offs, and convenience is one of them. But if you're looking for privacy, space, quiet, nature, and affordability, this property starts making a lot of sense. The people who dream about owning land, sitting on a porch with no neighbors in sight, and having room to breathe will immediately understand the appeal. This could be an ideal fit for remote workers looking to escape expensive cities, retirees seeking a slower pace of life, homesteaders wanting room to grow, hunters and outdoor enthusiasts, or simply anyone who feels like modern suburban life has become too crowded and too expensive. And that brings us to the big question. Would you rather spend $295,000 on a small suburban home with a tiny backyard and neighbors just a few feet away? Or would you rather own a log home on nearly 9 acres with forests, fields, and thousands of acres of public wilderness right outside your door? There's no right answer. Different people value different things, but more Americans are asking that question than ever before. And properties like this help explain why. For $295,000, you're getting 3 bedrooms, 2.5 bathrooms, nearly 2,000 square feet of living space, 8.55 acres of land, a move-in-ready log home, massive covered porches, a beautiful stone fireplace, and direct access to more than 10,000 acres of public wilderness nearby. That's a combination that's becoming increasingly difficult to find anywhere in America today. So what do you think? Would you live here, or is rural life not for you? Let me know in the comments. And if you enjoy seeing what money buys around America, be sure to subscribe to the Opportunity Index, because sometimes the most interesting opportunities are hiding in places most people never think to look.